Yeah, this podcast brought to you by a set that's made with tacks and thumb glue, or thumb tacks and glue. Welcome to the podcast. What's up, dude? Thank you for coming out.
Oh, you're welcome, Johnny.
I appreciate you, man. You've been very busy lately, Franklin.
Yes, I have. Since Kill Tony, I've been a lot more regularly.
Hey, let's talk about it right out of the gate then. I like that. Kill Tony. Someone tag Kill Tony in this. He's going to like this. Yeah, dude, you recently had a hot set on Kill Tony like a month ago now. It's not been long.
It was in February.
Oh, February. So a few months.
Couple months, yeah.
I haven't been keeping up with you as much as I thought I had, huh? That's very revealing on my end that I hadn't.
Marijuana tends to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong, dude. I use way too much pot. I do. I use an irresponsible amount. Sometimes I just stare at myself in the night and I'm like, why do I keep obliterating myself every single day? But, you know.
And then you wake up the next morning and you realize why.
No, the next morning I'm just like, where's it at? Anyway. Oh, this is gonna be fun. I can tell. So you had a good set on Kill Tony. You went down to Austin. Is that where you were on?
Yeah.
You went down. How long were you down there?
Actually, we stayed down there close to 3 weeks.
3 weeks, and then you signed up every week for 3 weeks.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
And we originally was going to just be down for 2 weeks, and then we were going to leave the Sunday, but the following Monday they were going to do 2 Kill Tonys, and I said, you might
as well stay
over for a little longer.
Yeah.
So we stayed almost another week.
Stayed another week, and then you got on that last week, right?
No, I got on the first week I was there.
The first week you were there, so you just stayed a couple more times, just
trying to get on again.
Yeah, doing some spots while you were out there.
Yeah, a few. Yeah.
Did you get after you did your Kill Tony appearance? Did people then give you spots after that? Is that kind of how that worked?
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of go up you kind of climb the ladder a little bit there, a couple rungs there while you're in Austin. That's cool, man. Yeah, I've been down there. The scene it's something else. I don't think it's hard for regular people who listen. It's hard to like describe what it's like, but just for comedy, it's like where you want to be.
Oh yeah. I this was my 4th trip down there.
Okay.
And I mean, you can make. I made 6 mics in one night.
Yeah.
Just making, mics, and then, get seen enough, do well enough, you get booked.
Yeah, that happens a lot because these bookers are the comics, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times you notice that the bookers are the comics and they're at the spots. So the spot, and for people who don't kind of understand what we're talking about, the spots are like the open mics that you can go to, but the more open mics you do, if you're doing 5 and 6 a night and you're doing these jokes and working them out, you're going to get good. You're going to get good fast, too.
Yeah.
Right? We can go do 15 spots in a week, and you only got to go out 3 nights, You can still live a normal life and also get really good at comedy. So being closer to a big city and a scene like that is important if you're really trying to make it and take it to the next level.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, what was your experience like going down there?
Oh, it's always been good. Every time I've gone down there, they've always loved my shit, just waiting to getting pulled on Kill Tony. I mean,
Yeah.
They loved me every time I go down to Austin. And one time I went down there with Miko Smith and Def Goldblum. I mean, and all 3 of us were just killing everywhere we were going.
Yeah.
Down there. I mean, they're there to recognize talent.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
They do.
They're not as cliquey as some places are.
Sure. Yeah, sure. That's interesting. I would think it would be the opposite. I only spent about 10 days there. And so, I mean, I did meet some people, and then the more people that you meet, they're like, hey, go here, do this spot, come to this spot, do a guest spot, get you $20 on something. So it's like, it did happen, but I assume that the longer you're down there, obviously the more you're going to fraternize with people and kind of become friendly, and you're going to find out where the cool shit is.
Yeah.
So that's fun, dude. Yeah, that's exciting, dude. So how long have you've only been doing stand-up for 3 years, 4 years now?
No, it's 6 now.
6 now.
Yeah, I started in 19, right before the pandemic.
Okay.
Those first 2 years, it was just Lloyd's monthly mic down there in the Chillicothe, Jackson area.
Yeah.
And then in December of 21, I separated from my wife for the second time.
For the second time?
Yeah. And the first time when we separated, I stayed home and I moped and, girlfriends called me and said, "Oh, she wants you back." And I took her back. Well, obviously it didn't work.
Yeah.
And I said this time, I ain't going to sit home and mope. I said, I like this comedy stuff. I get laughs. I mean, I got laughs from the get-go.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pursue this some. And
well, you are a goofy guy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're a silly guy. You talk differently than most people. You definitely have a unique angle about you. And, yeah, dude, I think I'm glad it's starting to work out for you and it's starting to click, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes, and I told you this a little while back, we saw each other at a show like a month ago or something, and it's like sometimes as like a comedian or an artist or whatever you're doing, you like see this version of yourself that nobody else really recognizes, and you're like, I'm just trying to work up to be this person that I can visualize as like an actual successful person doing whatever you want to do. And it's like nobody else sees it. And then it comes and then they're like, oh, that's crazy. This is crazy. You're like, it's not crazy because I worked for 6 years or whatever doing shitty bar mics, to get a good opportunity to where people could see me and I'm visual on the internet, and you start to build your reputation from there. It's really about what you do with it after you get on the Tonight Show of today.
Yeah.
Right? It's really about how much drive you have. Are you willing to potentially even move to Austin? Things like that probably cross your mind, huh?
Oh, yeah. 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 I have thought about moving to Austin. Yeah.
That's a goal for me.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I want to be. I want to end up being down there and yeah, a lot better. I mean, no offense to anybody who's been on my show, but just there's a more variety of podcast guests down there, right? Because there's hundreds of funny people there all the time, and I think it'd be a bigger opportunity for me as well. My family is into moving down there, so that's something we're saving up to do for the next couple of years. I'm just sort of at that point where I'm like pumping the brakes because sometimes your goals can be so big that they scare you,
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So I think that's the point that I'm at where I'm like, I'm kind of nervous to take it to the next level. But there's just like a little bit of self-doubt and imposter syndrome left deep down inside me that I'm trying to work out, and I feel like once I get there, then maybe I'll be ready to kind of take that leap.
Yeah.
But is that something you think eventually? Are you going to be in Ohio or what's the move?
No, I think eventually I will.
How many summers you got left,
I don't know.
Yeah, man, you're an older gentleman.
Yeah, I am, but my people live to be old.
That's good. My grandpa was 94 when he died.
My grandfather was 97.
God damn.
My mother was 93. Her identical twin sister, was 97. My people live old.
Isn't that funny, Frank?
And still with high blood pressure and diabetes.
No, hey, Frank.
Not that I have diabetes.
No one believed in us, but you and I were going to be 90 years old laughing at all of our friends' funerals.
Maybe.
Well, you'll be like 120 when I'm 90, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean. I'll be there. We'll be there. I'll be there for you.
But
Show the fountain. Cue the fountain. It's a Friends reference, Frank. Don't worry about it.
Oh, the fountain. Okay, I got it.
We're having fun, man.
But
we're having fun, dude. I like this. So, comedy for 6 years, 2 divorces with the same woman. I like
2 separations, the same woman.
All right. But I get it. We're having fun.
Working on the second divorce now.
That's
what's keeping me from Austin.
Okay.
I got to get that done.
I got you. Yeah.
Sell the house.
Yeah. That's cool. Actually, that's actually a fun fact. That's cool. So what I wanted to talk about also was, what was life like for Frank Demint before? Because as I understand, you used to be a medical professional.
Yes.
You went to med school?
Yes, I went.
So it's like
Ohio University College of Osteopathic Medicine.
You kind of already had a whole life before you ever even started writing dirty dick jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've lived a long, righteous life.
Oh, I had a career.
Yeah, you had a career that you've retired from, right?
Basically.
Okay, we'll get to that. We don't have to get to that. Well, let's talk more about kind of your upbringing and then what led to you being a medical professional. Is this a family business? Was this something you thought was a good career when you were younger, and kind of what made you want to get into the medical field when you were a kid anyway? Like how did all that take place?
Okay, well, technically, I really wanted to be a veterinarian.
Okay.
My mother raised miniature doctors. I grew up right outside of Chillicothe as a child, and she raised we had dogs, and she always had a cow.
I had a dog too,
but I mean, she had like 50 dogs.
All right.
So,
hey, you ain't got to one up me on the dogs, Frank. I'm just kidding. It was interesting for you to brag about dogs, but 50 dogs, I understand now.
Yeah,
okay. I follow.
And we had
you.
ponies, horses. I mean, we lived on 40 acres.
Oh, that's cool.
Young kid. Veterinarian medicine was really why I originally wanted.
So you grew up sort of around animals.
Yes.
I got you.
Yes. And then when I started, so as far as that, I couldn't get into medical. I couldn't get into vet school, but I was able to get into medical school.
So were you doing things? Yeah. Were you doing things on the farm as far as like giving animals antibiotics? And I mean, with having that many animals, cows and dogs around, you had animals that probably got injured and stuff.
Oh
right?
yeah.
So is that something you were doing as a kid?
Oh yeah.
You were
help with the cow, the animals and stuff.
You would help like milk the cows, and then like when they had the babies, were you around for that?
Oh yeah, I was around for that.
You birthed the cow,
but well, you don't usually have to do a whole lot with the cow.
Okay.
But I was around when they.
You watched it?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I've seen.
Very messy.
Yes, it sort of is. Yeah. A lot of fluids.
A lot of fluids. There's the clip. Hey, this podcast is called A Lot of Fluids. If it doesn't say that in YouTube, then something funnier happened, but a lot of fluids. All right.
Fluids.
I'm following. I like this, Frankie.
That's why I smoke pot too, so I don't put out a lot of fluids on my performance. Otherwise, it becomes a Gallagher show.
Yeah. You don't want to give, those people in the front row, that's not what they paid for. What's going on?
These settings are stressing me out because last time when...
Are we still rolling right now? Should we take a break?
Yeah, take a break. Come here.
You want to stop it?
No, it's fine. Come here.
No. In the middle of the episode? Switch the camera to Frank. Frank, plug your dates.
All right, Frank, plug your dates.
Oh, Jesus. I got, I've got a new open mic starting at the VHS Social Club on Front Street in Columbus. It will be every other Monday, starting this Monday. On the 17th, I have the show I'm producing down at the King's Inn in Kingston, Ohio, my hometown. I'm going to have Daryl Fairchild and Zach Hawley as my two co-headliners on that. I'll be hosting. I've got local girl, Kylie Dills, as my feature. And then we're going to have Jordan Reinhardt and Pacey Aldridge as our guest. And there may be another guest on that. And are we caught up? Okay.
You're good? No. Okay. Yeah, we can switch it back. Okay. That's cool, man. Thanks for playing. You guys go see Frank Demint live. He's going to be in an area near his hometown very soon. So please come see. You can also catch his appearance of Kill Tony. Do you know what number by heart?
Episode 705.
705. He has hashtag 705 tattooed on the back of his neck now. That's cool, dude. Okay, so back to the sticking your hands into a cow. Now, is there ever like do they ever get stuck? Do you ever gotta like grab the calves and like yank them out?
Sometimes you do.
You
sometimes,
do. Yeah, if it's a big old mama. Yeah, I like that. I like your style, Frank. Now, do you artificially inseminate the cows, or did you guys let them go old school? How did that work?
My mother always had them come in and artificially inseminate the cow.
You had to hire a guy?
Yes, we hired a guy because you had to buy the sperm.
So the sperm guy, he's out there somewhere just waiting on a call, right? They got like a fridge full of this shit, and he's like, ring, ring. Hey, it's the cow sperm bank. Yep. Oh, we'll send Steve out there. And then do you guys get to watch him do it though? Now that's you get to watch him do it?
Yes.
That's kind of hot. It's almost like an escort for your cow.
Sort of like an escort.
Sort of like an escort. It's like, yeah, we know what's really going on
And they
here.
use the gloves so it's safe sex.
Safe sex. Yes. I like this. This is that's a good way to be. I've always wondered how that operated. That's so. This is a fun quiz. This is like there's gonna be a lot of 4-H stuff on this episode. This is a 4-H heavy episode. We're having a good time. I like cows, dude. I like to eat them. You know, did that ever bother you as far as like eating meat and stuff? If you watch you kind of
did
got
not
used to that at
bother
a young
us.
age.
Food.
Do you think most farmers are that way, where they're like,
Yes.
yeah, that's
Most.
just the reality of what's going on
That's
around
reality of life.
you? Yeah, it is. You eat smaller animals, or sometimes bigger.
Yeah.
Bigger
you
animals. Do you always have
One
a lot-
biological form has to live off another biological form. It's just the way it is.
Did you guys sell your goods, like the milk and the chickens and
Mom
stuff?
would
or-
sell milk occasionally, milk and cream. My mother, what she'd do is that she had either a Guernsey Holstein or Jersey Holstein mixed cow.
Okay.
Because the Holstein produces more milk, but the Guernsey or the Jersey gives you more cream.
Okay.
So
she would have a half-breed cow.
Right, that way for the milk production, but then would breed it to a beef still, would use the sperm of a beef cow.
And what year was this, you think?
Oh, this would have been from probably the time I was born, 1958 until 1970.
So we could say that for sure your mother was very, how do you say, liberal for her time, right? Because that was before segregation. They didn't mix the cows up a lot back then. That's cool. No, you don't meet a lot of liberal farmers in the 50s, so that's interesting. Fresh cream. Fresh cream. What and
make butter from the cream.
Yeah.
My mother was sort of on the lazy side, and when I was a baby, and my brother, she would just strap a jar of the cream to the playpen and let us bounce it and churn it.
You used to churn cream with your playpen in the 1950s?
Yeah, 50s and 60s.
This might be my favorite episode of all time.
Yeah.
That's very funny, dude. Hey, Frank the Cream Churner Demint, dude. Damn, dude. I wish I had a better name for you right there, but that's all I could come up with. I'm gonna. Hey, you just wait. I'll have a better one before the end of this. Okay, so let's slow down here, Frank. You were talking about your cream days. We're talking about your butter churning career. But what comes next? You're farming. You're a kid. You're growing up on a lot of land, a lot of animals around you. And then what was high school like for you? And also.
Well, we're going too quick. We gotta go to middle school next.
Okay, let's go middle school.
We went from Chillicothe area, to Yellow Springs.
So you moved from Chillicothe to Yellow Springs from elementary to middle school,
right?
Also, tell me this because I'm not 100% certain, and I just want to know for myself and for the people listening: were you born with the speech deficiency, the tongue thing, or is this something that came later in life?
I was born with it.
You were born with it.
Yeah.
So that's what I was kind of a question that I had was did this sort of affect you when you were in your formative years as far as high school, middle school? But it's probably something you were already used to by then that you maybe were. Did you have to be funny? Like were you bullied for the way you talked, or did you have to be funny? How did sort of you deal with that at a younger age?
I don't remember being bullied a lot at a younger age. And like I say in part of my joke, I don't really hear it myself when I'm talking.
Yes.
Now, when it's recorded, I hear it. But
when you listen back to it.
Yeah. But when I'm talking to you, I really don't hear it. So I don't think I let it bother me that way. And I've always been a bright kid. I always had good grades and stuff. So I was the hippie, nerdy type.
Yeah.
And I think that
you always have long hair like that?
Pretty much from the time from middle school when I moved to Yellow Springs, hippiedom. until I went into the service. I had long hair.
Did you have
then I
like
grew
those-
it back again the last couple of years. Or so.
You had like those long black Charles Manson locks back then. You used to sing to the ladies and play guitar and shit.
Yeah.
Is that the
Sure
vibe?
I did.
That's the
Sure
vibe
I
I'm getting.
did. That's the vibe I give.
That's the vibe you're giving. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like an older Jerry Garcia.
Garcia,
yeah. You're like scary Garcia.
That's the better time.
Yeah, maybe more like Cherry Garcia for me. You've had an ice cream sundae in your day. That's fun, dude. So we're moving from Yellow Springs, and then what's causing your parents to move from from Chillicothe to Yellow Springs, Ohio?
Well, my mother had a family farm there. Wasn't in her name, but in a cousin's name that they were trying to save, and we. My father got the loan, which was like $50,000, which doesn't seem like much today, but in 1970, $50,000.
That's like $500,000.
Yeah.
Our economy is 10x at least.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah,
That's like a
guy.
lifetime.
He didn't even think they'd loan him the money.
It's a lifetime investment for a farm.
And,
you're a farmer forever, sir.
And we were supposed to, and the cousin was supposed to pay the loan off, and that didn't happen. We ended up having to sell it. But we were there for about the 3 years I was in middle school. And like I said, I went to middle school in Yellow Springs just like Dave Chappelle, but before him, obviously.
Yeah.
Because I'm even older than Dave.
Yeah.
And those were formative years that,
Growing up, hiking in John Glenn, doing acid
we grew right
and
next
shit.
to John Glenn. My family had, way back, way back, had donated some land to John Glenn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we owned land abutted John Glenn.
You were basically on the border of it.
Yeah,
Some of
yeah.
the land used to be your family's at one point.
At one point.
On your
yeah.
mom's side.
On my mother's side, yeah.
Okay. So did your cousins live among you? How sort of was that family dynamic of you guys getting a big loan and coming to work on their farm and giving up your land back home? How did that dynamic go down? Were you too young to remember? Were you just dealing with school and shit?
Well, I don't know, of course, all the details because again, I was in middle school.
Sure.
So adults don't tell you
but
everything.
things were changing around
but
you.
it was the cousin. I only had one daughter, and she was old. Both of them were older. I would say the cousin that the farm belonged to was probably 10 years older than my mother or so.
Okay.
And her daughter was like in her 20s,
Okay.
when we were there. So, and we didn't really associate much. There became a rift pretty early.
Oh, right.
Because
right.
she didn't want to make the changes that needed to be made
To make it better,
make it
work
profitable,
out, make money.
so you pay off the loan.
Right. Yeah. Which is how they probably got in their hot water in the first place.
And they wouldn't give us the leeway to do that because we lived actually lived on a trailer, a mobile home
On the property.
On the property.
Okay.
Where they lived in the home.
Yeah.
Which we didn't matter because she was, she had clutter all over the place.
Yeah. Hoarder.
I couldn't think of the word hoarder.
Hoarder, yeah.
Yeah. So, but
Years later, if you would have got her on a TV show, you guys might have been able to save the farm. But in 1950, they didn't really have that program. Live in the flesh, we are back. There's been a slight technical difficulty behind the scenes. It seems to be a recurring thing on this podcast, but at least this podcast is going. Right? Are you even watching this right now? Are you even watching this right now?
Yes. The Woodies are.
Hey Woodies. We're back. We're with my good friend Frank Demint. Known this guy for a long time. We're just getting to know him a little bit, talking about his childhood. He got gum thrown in his hair. He's given birth to a baby cow. Not himself personally, but he was on the scene. He used to call a guy when he was a kid to get semen delivered to his house, bull semen. That's a real business. And just wanted to catch you guys up, get you up to speed. And now we're going to go back to Frank. He's going to tell us about the time he ran into an alligator when he lived in Florida.
Ran into an alligator.
Is that what they called you? Alligator Bliskin?
No.
Hey, why do you look like one of the townsfolk members, dude? If you had a pitchfork or a fire right now, you have resting townfolk face.
Resting town folk.
Okay, so you're living in Florida and you're going to high school, and then how does high school treat you? And then does the military come after high school, or were you involved in that ROTC cult that we talked about earlier?
The Army came way later.
Army came way later. Okay, so what are sort of your young adult life?
Okay.
What are those years?
So anyway, as far as Florida, high school years, like I say, we lived in the country. My mother became friends with this roadside zoo thing that was common back in those days, and so we got a lot of exotic animals. Yeah.
Okay, what kind of a?
Kinkajous.
I don't think you can say that on YouTube. I don't think you can say that on YouTube, Frank. All right, go ahead.
Peacocks. We had.
How's it going there, Pat? Are you scared, dude? You're tweaking stuff. You shouldn't be. We should just stop it and make sure that it's working. We can't tweak it mid-pod. Do you have the headphones?
You're way louder than Frank is the problem.
Okay, so he just needs a little bit of gain on his audio because he has a different booster than I do. We have two different brands of boosters. So what you do? No. The gain knob is the top knob closest to his cord. Yeah, so you just want to turn that up to like maybe 48, 50% max.
Well, it's at like 80 and it's not picking him up as well as you.
Oh, okay. So then there's a short or something in it.
Yes, I can talk again.
I'm sorry.
So are you saying that this is not usable content right now? Are you saying I could say anything that I want right now?
And it went back out. Now I'm picking up Frank again, but it's super loud.
It's super loud because it's on 80%.
Now it's on 40.
Now it's on about about
Okay,
40, 50 is where you want to keep those. That's the sweet spot if you don't have a mic booster.
Yeah. Can you hear me good? Okay.
Okay, who's the camera on?
It's on you, Johnny.
Okay, Frank was just using gator slurs. I didn't even know you could do a hate crime on an alligator. Talk more about that.
Okay.
So what all animals did you have?
Okay.
Tell me more about your animals, but I
Okay,
do
yeah.
want to know about the construction. It sounds like you do have a story.
Yeah, I do
Okay.
have a story there.
Okay.
We had, like I say, I had boa constrictors. I had a Burmese python that I named Muhammad.
Muhammad the Berm. Muhammad the Berm, that's what they call him.
And we didn't own the lions, but there were a couple of lion cubs I would take into school like once a year for a couple of years. Do a lecture on exotic animals.
You took lion cubs into school?
Yeah, into high school.
What are you saying, dude?
Yeah.
Give me a little backstory. What do you know, Joe Exotic or something? How'd you guys get lion
I can tell
cubs?
you, I could relate a lot to what was going on. So
How did you get lion cubs? And also, do you mean the animals or do you mean the other stuff that was going on?
no, I'm talking about the animals.
I want to know about the drama. Who were you in love with and who'd you kill?
But yeah, we had these lion cubs. Floyd and.
When you say we, your family owned lions?
We didn't own them.
Are you a zookeeper?
The roadside zoo that my parents became associated with, but we didn't own or anything, but became friends with the owners of.
You guys, okay, so you guys know someone who owns a zoo. Okay.
Yeah, that's how mom got hers. Kinkajou.
Why does it sound so wrong when you say it? Hey, can you pull one of those up for us, Pat? Can you you say it? No, I'm not saying it. You say, tell them what the animal's called. A kink of what?
Kinkajou.
That's crazy. Okay, it's cool. We're gonna have to show it.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, how's the end of it spelled? Is it like you think?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay, we're
But
good.
yes, I've made that joke before.
Okay, that's sad, dude. I don't like that. It made me uncomfortable.
So it's like almost like a flying squirrel type thing.
Well,
Flying squirrel?
It's actually related to the raccoon family, raccoons and coatimundis.
Okay, so
But it looks a lot of people mistake it for monkeys because it's got a big, long, prehensile tail, and its hands it can grab, but it has two claws instead of nails.
Like a bat almost?
No, not like
No,
a
it's
bat.
more like a primate?
Yeah, it's a well, it's not a primate, like I say.
Oh, dude, those things are cute.
Yeah, they're cute.
Are they little or they get they get big?
About this, probably.
Wow. So you guys own one of those?
They can give you a pretty decent bite.
Oh yeah, you ever get bit by?
Oh yeah, I got bit by them before. Yeah, not very fun.
Hey, you said it, Pat. You're not on mic. Where's your mic tonight? All right. Well, hey, we're just this fucking thing is barely going anyway. We're like, dude, if we have one more piece of equipment to this fucking podcast, this whole thing's gonna fall apart. It's gonna this building's gonna burn, dude. Oh man.
So anyway, but yeah, I took the lions in and cubs.
So
in,
you
and we
took
did
them.
a full biology class.
Hey, I borrowed my neighbor's car once when I was a teenager, but what's it like asking to borrow a lion cub, dog? Like, how do you approach someone like, sir, I understand you have 2 lion cubs. I'm having a biology class tomorrow. You heard of it. And I just wondering if I could take Simba and Lana to my high school where there's hundreds of kids. I want to let them loose and I want to let them pet the lions or what? Like what? Did you keep them caged?
No, we didn't keep them.
You just brought lions.
Brought them in. Yeah.
What the fuck, Frank? You brought lions into your high school.
Yeah.
Why don't, dude? This is the coolest thing about you, dude. You brought lions to school, bro. Some people bring like a pack of Newports to school, and everybody's like, "This dude's got a big dick." I swear to God, this is like the coolest guy ever. The guy who brings 2 lions to school, dude. What the fuck? You must have been killing it, dude. You must have been getting pussy thrown at you, dude. Oh my God. Hey, it's the lion guy. Dude, you were the king of the jungle. That's crazy, bro. So, did anything happen? Did anybody get hurt? They were just sweet little lions?
No, they were,
Oh, dude, I wish we had a picture. I wish we could show people. Just pull a lion cub up for the people. Patrick, I told you it's a 4-H heavy episode.
Anyway.
This was before those magicians got like murdered,
Before people were on high alert. They were like, it's just a little cat. Are lion cubs small? Are they like, it's like the size of a chihuahua?
Well, the first year I took them, they were pretty small. By the second year, they were like cub,
They were like tigers, or lions.
They were still smaller than a full-grown lion, but they were
big.
They were pretty good size.
Oh my God, dude! So that's what Frank was bringing to school, guys.
Yeah, that's why I was bringing.
If you're wondering, that's
that would have been the first year.
Hey, that's the kind of guy.
Get one about a year old.
Hey, dude, he's got pussy on him at all times. You know what I'm saying? He's just walking around with the cubs. Dude, that's crazy.
And they get like that big.
Ooh, look at that white one.
Yeah, that was probably about the size of it when
that's a year old. That's a second year.
The second year.
About a year old lion.
About a year old.
And you took him to school.
Yep.
And they were like, "You can't come back to school, right?"
No, they're the ones that asked me to bring them back.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, the biology teacher loved it.
Dude, so you brought lions to school.
And kinkajous.
And kinkajous.
You know what I'm saying. And
hey, listen, dude, those things,
and Burmese pythons. Fed the Burmese python or boa constrictor a mouse.
Yeah.
To demonstrate how they eat.
You brought the snakes into school too.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
What year is this?
This is show and tell. It's senior year show and tell.
10th and 11th. 10th and 11th
sophomore
grade,
and junior year.
78 type?
No, this will have been
1974.
74, 75, yeah.
Yeah. Are you
I
paying
graduated
attention?
in 76. He's a little slow on the uptake.
He's a little, hey, I know, trust me. He talks a big game, but under pressure, Pat folds quick, dude. Pat's like a fucking laundry. He's just fucking. All right. Hey, listen, you had your eyes closed. So yeah, hey, Pat, our producer, he was on Kill Tony too a couple weeks ago. He was on the arena one, dude. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, we went down to Nashville and it was a good time. If you guys listened to last week's episode, you heard all about it. But dude, we were like in the middle of a tornado and shit. and we didn't have anywhere to go because call time wasn't until like 5:30. So like all there's like hundreds of people running down the street. And there's like a tornado in the middle of downtown. It didn't do a ton of damage, but it was just scary as shit that it touched down. Yeah, dude, it was wild as fuck. Yeah, Nashville was fun. Watch last week's episode and find out more about Nashville and Patty Callahan.
Frank? Is this you?
Yep, that's me.
Hey, pull that up, dude. Pull that up for people. Hey, so when this guy walks into fucking high school, the last day of school, you guys want to do a senior prank? No, because he has the Lions here, dude. So we can't piss anybody off today. They brought some people got that dog in them. Frank has got a lion heart. That's what he's got. Is it on screen? Can people see Frankie? Young Frank Demint, dude. You were a handsome guy. You were you almost look like you were born to be a soldier, bro. You got soldier face. Doesn't he?
Look like Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant.
Andre the average size guy.
Yeah, I wasn't even big back then.
Hey, your face had giant syndrome, dude. Oh man. That's wild. Hey, Andre the Giant with lions though. Hey, come to find out, the real Andre the Giant was just Frank and two lions under a trench coat. Oh, he does look like him. Young Andre, bro. Hey, that's just what happens when you're fucking. He took 3 of your chromosomes at birth. That's what happened. He's got extras, and you were missing a couple, and that's how that rolls, dude. Hey, can we get a picture of you with your shirt off like that for comparison, Frank? Do you mind? It's just for the YouTube.
Just for YouTube.
It's for the tubes. It's for the viewers at home, baby. All right, man. This is fun, Frank. So you getting out of high school. What's your first career? Are you?
Well, then I went.
You
to
going
Antioch,
straight to college?
I went to Antioch College.
You come back to Ohio.
Came back to Yellow Springs, thinking you'd relive the old, but then you realize shit moves on. You know?
Yeah. It's a different world. Yeah. Now you just have to focus on school, and you can't really be smoking dope and
we were smoking dope.
You bring it.
I was at Antioch.
You were smoking dope, but there wasn't a lot of lions around in college. It was a reality check.
I guess first year I spent my first year there. Just wasn't working out for me. Returned back home and went to community college, Edison Community College at the time. Now it's called something else. It's become a 4-year college since then, and got my associates. While I was doing that, that's when I would work construction because my father worked construction. He was a machinist too.
Okay.
He was a union machinist, but they didn't pay him shit. There were no unions in Florida back then.
Okay.
I'm not even sure if there's unions there now, but then they didn't have them.
Yeah.
And he had learned a trade. And he learned construction, basically concrete, from labor on up.
So you're doing that on the side while you were in college. No time for lions. You're busy.
This is where the gator story comes in.
Okay.
We were working out on Daniels Road.
In Ohio here?
No, down in Florida.
You were in Florida doing
construction. In Fort Myers.
Okay.
Daniels Road is now a very paved road that goes to the airport.
Thanks to your father.
Myers. But back then, it was a dirt road. Okay. And we were working on a house then. And, at the end of the day, it's hot, sweaty. And there was this big pond. We dropped into that pond, get to cool off.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, all these little alligator heads started coming up.
Oh, shit. How many were in there, you think?
I don't know. I know I saw a good 6 or 7 heads.
What?
I said, Mom can't be that fucking far away.
Yeah.
Get the heck out.
Fuck, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was probably the scariest gator incident I had.
So you guys just all got out of the water quick?
Oh, yeah, we got out of the water quickly.
And they didn't chase you out or nothing?
No. We just got out. We didn't want to try our luck.
Oh, man.
Like I said, Mom couldn't be too far away.
Yeah, dude. So, whoa.
So
that's wild.
So,
you were a teenager then?
I would have been 19 or 20.
You were kind of, starting, coming in. Hey, this would have been a shorter podcast if you'd got eaten.
Yeah. A whole lot shorter. Yeah. Or you'd be calling me Stumpy, one or the other.
Yeah, Stumpy Demint. That checks out. That actually feels right. There's another reality somewhere, and there's a version of you called Stumpy. And
have got a golden ticket for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. If you would have showed up with one leg on Kill Tony, you would have fucking rocked the house, son. They would have been like, "This guy, dude, yeah, he could just he has an apartment at the mothership now. He talks like that. He used to be a doctor, and he only has one leg, dude. This guy is the shit. Let him open for Holtzman. He's gonna be Holtzman's feature." Hey, you hang out. You hang on for that because you could still be Holtzman's feature one day. Actually, you guys would be a fun show. Cool, dude. Okay, so we're out of high school. We're in college now. You're still working up here. Your parents moved up here. Now you're doing construction with your dad on the side.
No, they was in Florida.
Okay.
When they moved to Florida, they stayed to Florida.
And so you had to come back here.
I came back.
Did you
for
find
college
work in college, or what were you doing while you were in college?
Well, the 1 year up here, I didn't.
You just smoked dope and walked around.
I went to school and
went to Happy's
and then when
Pizza.
I went back to Florida, for community college, back to Fort Myers. Okay, that's when that Gator story occurred. And so after I finished, got my associates, I went to the University of Florida for about a year and a half, and didn't do as well as I'd like to have, and so I dropped out. And worked full time for my father. He sold his business to another concrete subcontractor, and then a few months they laid us all off.
Okay.
Was laid off, taking unemployment for a little while, living with my parents. And then my mother and father, who were both in the military, had that talk with me.
Okay. How old are you at this point? Like 24?
I was 22.
22. You're still a very young guy.
22, yeah.
And they said what? Like, this is a good job. This pays
that's
well. You'll travel.
We want you out of the
get your
goddamn
college
house
paid
with
for.
your girlfriend.
Yeah. You got 2 lion cubs up there, and you keep eating your girl's pussy every night. We can't handle her screaming while the lion cubs fight.
Yeah,
I get that.
So that's when I enlisted.
Okay.
And
you had to break up with that girl, didn't you?
No, I ended up doing the stupid thing.
What'd you do? You married her?
Of course, yeah.
That young?
Yeah.
So you married at 22 and go to the Army?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. So
Yeah,
she
that's
stays
marriage.
home while you go off to deployment, right?
Well, I didn't. No,
Did you ever go to Vietnam?
No, I never went. No, this was after Vietnam. This would have been 1982.
So you were active duty.
I
but
was
you-
active duty, but the only time she was away from me was during basic training and part of AIT.
You regret that? You said it was such a specific time. I was like, you're thinking about it, right? It's in the back of your mind for sure. I got you.
But I trained as a medical lab tech, like I say in that joke. And also like that joke, military intelligence did want to talk to me.
Yeah.
It was linguistic. It's the fucking truth.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I end up, doing my, 10 weeks of basic training, that was at 22, it was hard. I wasn't in the best physical shape considering, partying for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
In college.
Yeah. You were just like a liberal kid that was just getting fucked up all the time, petting lions and shit.
So, I didn't have the greatest time in boot camp.
You kind of look like a lion, Frank.
I don't look like,
You kind of look like the lion from The Wizard of Oz, dude.
I've told many people I'd repeat 4 years of medical school over that 10 weeks of boot camp.
Oh, wow.
But IT, I trained as a medical lab tech, took that course, which was not difficult at all. But then they sent me to Fort Detrick, Maryland, where USAMRIID, United States Army Medical Research Institute of Infectious Diseases.
Oh, wow.
That's all equivalent to the Wuhan.
Did you ever have to write that on a chalkboard 100 times?
So I worked in the research lab. I worked in the research lab the whole time I was in service. It was like a 9-to-5 job. It was pretty good. I finished up my bachelor's degree, did real well then, started working on my master's degree, and then once I got out, that's when I went to medical school.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you were going to college while you were in the Army still.
Plus, I also.
But then you went to
moonlit.
and then you moonlit
I
on the
moonlit
side.
as a medical lab tech at the local hospital there in Frederick, Maryland.
Was that just like a lot of analysis and blood work and
Yeah,
stuff?
blood
You didn't really get your hands dirty, or did you get to watch surgeries, or how did that?
No, it was just basically blood work.
Blood work, lab tech.
Lab tests.
Okay.
Yeah, just lab tech stuff.
Okay, but that was obviously you had a lot of interest in that. Huh?
Yeah. And then that's what got me more into going into medical school. Gave me,
And then where did you attend school at?
Ohio University. Now it's called Heritage College of Osteopathic Medicine.
Okay.
There in Athens.
Okay, so you went to Athens, and that was 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years. But 4 years.
4 years.
2 years on. In medical school, is your first 2 years. You're in lectures and stuff, and then your last 2 years you're out doing clinical stuff.
Okay,
doing
so
what we
you're
call clerkships and stuff.
So you had to go work at a hospital for 12
Yeah.
hours a day, basically, and get ready for what it looked
yeah,
like.
Yeah.
Were you And then were you in like the trauma field? Were you in like the pediatrics? Where did you steer towards?
Family practice.
Family practice.
Primary care.
So, primary, and that's like a general doctor.
Yeah.
That you would do checkups and physicals and lab work and stuff like along those
And
lines.
they take care of routine stuff, urgent care stuff, colds, flus.
Were you doing
sprains,
prescriptions
poison
and
ivy.
stuff?
Oh, yeah. And,
You were-
and I also treat hypertension, diabetes,
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Oh, so you had a wide variety
yeah.
of people of all ages that you would deal with.
I didn't deal with babies. I didn't do any obstetrics or
Patrick has. No, I'm just kidding.
but pretty much, from a child on to 99. Or whatever,
older folk.
Yeah.
So and then how long did you do that?
I practiced for 27 years.
For 27 years, you were a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
What's the craziest thing that ever happened to you while you were a doctor? Everything
God.
good?
This was probably the craziest one. You guys, you've all heard my joke about guys thinking about being a gynecologist.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the craziest thing was I was doing this pelvic on a woman because she was having a discharge. It was a woman probably in her mid to late 50s. And the smell was just horrendous. I mean, it would curl the toes of a possum.
Oh, my God, dude.
I pull out this piece of a French tickler.
What's a French tickler?
Yeah.
Like
the covering that you put over a vibrator that's got those little. Lovely...
I didn't know there was coverings you could put on vibrators, dude. Tell me.
Anyway.
Hey, Pat, pull that up for the people. Okay, go. Keep telling me. So she basically got something.
A piece of that.
A part of a vibrator broke off into her vagina, and then it made an infection.
Yes.
Oh,
that's basically
my
what happened.
God, dude.
But when I pulled it out, she looked at me with the straightest face and said, "That's my husband's fault."
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God, dude. Oh, okay. So one of those, a French tickler. It's like a suction cup for a dildo or something. It goes on the end of it.
I have no idea. Can you see it, Frank?
Yeah. I got my glasses on me.
Hey, we're gonna get an HDMI splitter. That way, we'll put a TV over here too, Pat, so we can see your screen next time. Not next time, but we'll figure it out.
Basically, it's a covering that has those like
This doesn't have a
soft,
big budget.
spikely things. That look like they'll.
This podcast has a very small budget.
But anyway, it's a patient, of a vibrator.
A piece of
sex
a
toy.
vibrator was inside of a. That is a crazy
and it had
thing.
been there for a while too. I mean,
Would define a while. We'll give
I
you a
would
time
say
span.
probably weeks.
Whoa. Yeah, because she had to call and make the appointment, right?
Well,
she just had to kind of wait
She probably
around.
waited till she already started having a discharge.
Yeah.
Which bothers
It was
me.
probably uncomfortable. Yeah. And then
I'm gonna
then
say,
she had.
I'm going to bet 2 or 3 weeks probably.
Oh wow.
That would be
dude.
my educated guess.
Yeah. So did you keep it?
No.
That's a souvenir, dude. What, dude? You hold on to something like that. Then you can pull it out on a podcast in 20 years, and you could be like, "Actually, I keep it on my keychain. It's like a little, like a rabbit's foot or something." That's your lucky
Good
charm.
luck.
He said, "I rubbed it
It
before."
wasn't good luck for her.
Hey, right before he got on Kill Tony, he rubbed it, and he came right out of the bucket, dude. That's beautiful. Hey, it would have been crazy if you would have found your name from Kill Tony in her vagina. You'd have been like, what the hell is this? Doc Brown. You kind of look like Doc Brown hit Marty in the face with a shovel. You know what I mean? Wow, that's interesting, Frank. Okay, man. So you have had a fucking wild life, man. You grew up on a farm, and then you fought an alligator, and then now you guys might have missed that part, but he did, and we had to cut that part out of the episode, but he did. But you fought an alligator at one point in time. There's no history of you talking about that on this episode, but you definitely did that. We know that for a fact. That one thing we can be certain of is that you fought an alligator at one point. And that's when you lived in Florida. Then you went to Antioch. You basically you lived a pretty cool, fun life as a kid on a farm. And eventually you had to become a man and go to the military. Yeah. And then you started fucking sucking people's blood. Like a vampire lab tech, right? Something like that. And then you became a doctor. Well, you had to go to college after that. So you do 4 years of college while you're in your early adult years, and then you go 4 years of medical school.
Well, I had like 3.5 years of college when I went into the service.
Okay.
Because I had signed up a 3-year.
So you went to like 10 years of college, essentially.
It took 10 years for me to get a 4-year degree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And then you could finally be a doctor.
Yeah, I was on the 10-year plan.
Yeah. So where did you start being a doctor? Did you start right away, and were you at the same place for the whole duration of your career?
No, I started, my first practice was in Gloucester, Ohio.
Okay.
I worked for the hospital there in a practice in Gloucester. The hospital was in Nelsonville, Doctors of Nelsonville. It's now defunct. And so I did 5 years there. The hospital administrator and I didn't really get along very well.
Yeah.
So when my contract was up, I was looking to leave.
Was he upset about the lion cubs you would bring in the last day?
That was it.
The last day of every year on the medical quarter, he brings in 2 lion cubs. They're like, they're getting too big, Frank. Okay? To be honest with you, these are 12-year-old lion cubs. We love the story. You have to stop bringing the cubs in. They ate Janet last year. That's fun.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. This is cool, man. So basically you live your whole life, and then a few years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, you and your old lady split again. You're like, you're retired, right? At this point, you're like, what do I have going for me? And you decided to start this new thing.
Yeah.
And then a couple years later, you have a fucking hot set on one of the most popular comedy shows in the country. And now you've been busy.
Yeah.
The last couple months have been good to you, huh?
Yes, it has been.
That's good to hear. I'm glad. I know we talked about that. You know, we've been fucking around and stuff, but sincerely, I'm really happy that stuff is working out for you. And I'm glad you came and told me your story today. I think this is a really fun talk.
Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I appreciate you, brother. You guys, he plugged his dates earlier. If you guys have been following, and Frank is the man. Patrick, thank you for being here, my dog. This has been the Morning Woods Woodies. Bye-bye.